Hello everyone and welcome to today's video, where today I am going to be going over the squad that I would take to the Euros this summer. Now I believe that there are 26 players that can go to the Euros this summer and not 23. Various reasons why it has changed around, so I will be doing an initial 23 players plus 3 players that I would have been taking to make it up to 26. So the goalkeepers that I would take to the Euros is Dean Henderson, Nick Pope and Jordan Pickford. I think we as a nation can agree that those 3 goalkeepers are the best that England has to offer. And if you go further down the ranks, you've obviously got goalkeepers that are down in the relegation zone in the Premier League who are conceding a lot of goals, and then further down the line there's obviously the Championship goalkeepers, which obviously to that standard is not going to be the best to take to the Euros. So those 3 goalkeepers mentioned, the best that we've got, and rightfully should be going to the Euros. Moving on to the fullbacks, and starting on the right hand side, I would take Trent Alexander-Arnold. I know that he has had a bad season compared to the other seasons where he was winning the Champions League and the Premier League. His standards have dropped this season. However, as he got dropped for the England squad back in the end of March, his form has picked up dramatically, not to the standard that it has been, but it's definitely improved. Plus as well, his crossing, his passing and what he's like at set pieces, the quality is there, and why you wouldn't take him would be beyond me. I'd be very shocked if he wasn't going. Second right back that I would take would be Reece James. The reasons for this is because he's reached the Champions League final, he's reached the FA Cup final, and he's done really well for Chelsea being their first choice right back. I also have this feeling that England will be playing 3 centre backs along with 2 wing backs, and Reece James has played as a right wing back, playing for Chelsea, having that experience, that pace, that power on the right hand side. I think he'll do really well in that system. Plus as well, he can play as a normal right back, but if we want to play the wing backs, then I think Reece James will be a good option. And the last right back that I would be taking is Kyle Walker. He's done really well for Man City this season, as he always does at right back, and also, in my opinion, England's best right back that we've got right now. And I would like to think that he does play the majority of the games that we will be playing at the Euros, especially in the big games and in the knockout stages. If we get there, I'm not saying that we won't get there, but you never know with England. Moving on to the left hand side at left back, my first choice for that one would be Ben Chilwell. Ben Chilwell has done really well for Chelsea this season, reaching the Champions League final and FA Cup final, alongside Reece James as my other choice at right back. Despite not being the first choice left back for Chelsea, because he's sometimes in and out of the squad, I think we still have to take him anyways, because England don't have many left backs. But the other choice at left back that I would be taking to compete with Ben Chilwell is Luke Shaw. His career hasn't always worked out as well as we would have liked to have seen at Man United, given the injuries that he's had and also being out of the squad as well under certain managers. But this season for Man United, he's done exceptionally well, and I think as well he's got to be first choice left back because of how well he has done this season and being guaranteed that left back spot at Man United. So playing on a consistent basis, doing it for England as well, it could all work out. Moving on to centre backs, my first choice would be John Stones. Reaching the Champions League final, winning the Premier League, winning the League Cup, he's managed to find a way back into the Man City squad when it looked like it was all doom and gloom after last season's performances, and he was almost on his way out as well. But playing alongside Ruben Diaz at Man City, I know he's not English, but that partnership with Ruben Diaz and John Stones has been formidable this season, and those performances have definitely worthy of getting back into the England squad. Second choice centre back, I would pick Harry Maguire. costing Man United 80 million. He is definitely a player for England who we need at centre-back. And as well at Man United, we've seen as well when he's been out of the squad how vital he is to the Man United defence. So I think having John Stones and Harry Maguire at centre-back for the Euros is going to be vital in progressing as far as we can in the Euros. However, moving on to my other two choices at centre-back, we're not really blessed with great centre-backs. We have average ones at best. However, my third choice is going to be Conor Coady at Wolves. I've just got this feeling that England are going to be playing three centre-backs. And given that Conor Coady has played with a three at the back at Wolves, I just feel like his experience in that position and having defenders around him is going to be vital, and that we would probably need to start him if we do play three at the back. And then my fourth choice, I'm going with Michael Keane at Everton. Everton have done really well this season, and I think Michael Keane's guaranteed himself as the first choice centre back for the time being this season, and he's done really well. Like, he hasn't done the greatest, but he's definitely worthy of getting into the England squad this summer. Moving on to the midfielders, my first choice would be Jordan Henderson. Now, I know that he has been injured since the end of March and he has pretty much missed the rest of the Premier League season, but it is believed that he is going to be fit for the Euros, and I think a captain and a leader like Jordan Henderson is going to be needed if we want to progress in the Euros. He'll get on the England players' backs if we're not performing well. So I think we do need him, even though he has been injured. My second choice midfielder would be Declan Rice. Now, West Ham have had very mixed seasons, from fighting relegation to fighting for a Champions League spot. And Declan Rice has been so important in keeping them up and also helping them progress this season. My third choice midfielder would be Phil Foden. Now, I know that he is not classed as a midfielder, especially this season, because he's played as a left winger for Man City, even as a striker or even as a right winger. But my midfielders looked kind of bleak, so I just put Phil Foden there. So don't judge me for putting him there. But also as well, he has come of age since David Silva left Man City and Phil Foden has taken up that role of David Silva, contributing to a lot of goals, very important goals I will add to that, and the assists as well. He's an exceptional player, he really is. I've never seen anyone like that for England since the days of Wayne Rooney. Like, Phil Foden has so much potential, and it's exciting that he plays for Man City as well. But for England, even then, that's still incredible to think about. Next midfielder, I am going with Mason Mount. Ever since he was on loan at Derby, he has progressed to new heights at Chelsea, guaranteeing himself in the squad under Frank Lampard for Derby and Chelsea. And even when Lampard got sacked and Tuchel came in, Mason Mount has again become a first choice player in helping Chelsea progress as far as they have done in cup competitions and in the league. My last midfielder that I would take would be Jude Bellingham. Given that I don't watch the German league, seeing him in the Champions League playing against Man City, he was unbelievable. And I don't think that he will play in the Euros. I think he's just going to be a squad player, and we may play him in like the third game of the group stage if we've qualified. But just to give him that tournament experience, even if he doesn't play, it's still good to have him around the squad. Moving on to the forward line, I am picking my first choice as Jadon Sancho. I know that he didn't have the best starts to this season because of the links to Man United, and his form kind of went down the drain for a little bit. But over the months, he has got back to his best levels. He contributes to a lot of goals and assists, and a lot of pace down that right hand side is probably what we're going to be needing for this tournament. The next forward that I would take to the Euros is Harry Kane. Now, there's no disputing that the goals that he scored has been phenomenal. Even the assists this season, he's contributed a lot to a Tottenham team that has done very, very bad. And as well, he's carried that team so much this season. And the whole idea of him handing in a transfer request, I don't know if that will change anything in the England squad, but he's got to be guaranteed starter, captain for England, and yeah, why would you not take a prolific goal scorer to the Euros? The next forward that I would take to the Euros would be Raheem Sterling. Now, I know that he has not had the best of seasons for Man City, given the amount of games that I've watched him play in. He hasn't hit the heights that he has done, but he still contributes a whole lot more to the England squad than what people always assume he does. Like, even though he doesn't score, he still puts in the work rate in the team for England and even Man City. Next forward, I would take Marcus Rashford. He's been one of those for Man United who has played at a consistent basis. He's probably not scored as many goals as what people would have thought he would have this season, but he's still a really good player to have in the squad as well. The next forward I would take would be Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He has scored a lot of goals for Everton this season and carried Everton to where they are in the league right now. But Everton haven't had a prolific goal scorer since the days of Romelu Lukaku. And you think that was, 5 years ago when they had him? So the fact that they've got so many goals out of Dominic Calvert-Lewin has been a shock to me, I won't lie. But the form that he has produced for Everton is worthy of getting into the England squad. The last forward player that I would take would be Jack Grealish. He really makes a difference in this Aston Villa squad this season. And when he hasn't played, Villa have not looked the same. And he offers so much for his club, but also his country as well. But I know that over the recent weeks that he has been injured, so I don't know if he will be playing or even make it into the squad, but fingers crossed that he does make it in. So that's the initial 23 players that I would be taking, but of course there are the 3 players that you can take with you because it is a 26-man squad for the Euros. So the first additional player that I would be taking to the Euros is midfielder Calvin Phillips. Given that this is his first season in the Premier League for Leeds and they've continued playing the way they have done in the Championship and taking it to the Premier League, he has been incredible for Leeds United. He's good with ball possession and he's great at tackling as well. However, if we are going to be playing like a 4-3-3 at the Euros, I've got a feeling that Calvin Phillips is going to be playing as a centre midfielder in front of like Declan Rice, which I do not want to see because that is so negative from England when we've got so much talent up front and we're not using it to our advantage. So hopefully Calvin Phillips does play as a central defensive midfielder rather than a centre mid. The next additional player that I would be taking is centre back Tyrone Mings. Again, we are not blessed with great centre backs. However, he is a left-footed player for a centre back, which is vital. And I think as well he has done well for Aston Villa as they keep on improving each season. And the last additional player that I would be taking to the Euros is Jesse Lingard. A man who I would never have put in my squad at the start of the season, given that he could never get a game for Man United. However, playing for West Ham in these past 6 months, he has done exceptional. Like, he's a man on a mission to prove that he's still a great player. And I think the form that he has produced for West Ham, he should be going to the Euros. He has done enough in these past 6 months to say, why am I not in the squad? And also, he did make the England squad towards the end of March when we had quite a few injuries. But the form that he has produced, he would make it into my England squad for the summer. But there we go. That is the England squad that I would take to the Euros this summer. Now, I am recording this a week before the squad is even announced. So there may be injuries to those players that I have just mentioned, or they may not be picked at all for various reasons. But I will be doing a reaction to the actual England squad and talking about the players that haven't made it in, who I thought would be. Not necessarily the ones that I was right with, but just the ones that are not in the squad, which I think should be. But anyways, that is where I'm ending today's video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will see you soon with another video and hopefully more England content. So until then, peace.